Let's run a simple scenario. An influential public figure and an everyday citizen are both involved in the exact same fatal incident. In a perfectly fair world, the law treats these two events exactly the same. For the ordinary citizen, the consequences are immediate. They are detained, charged, and placed behind bars. Their family exhausts their savings on legal fees, and the court system grinds forward without hesitation. But for the influential figure, a very different process begins. The family of the victim goes to the police, and the investigation suddenly moves slowly. You check the court filings, and crucial evidence has gone missing. Key witnesses start changing their statements, and the assigned lawyers appear strangely unmotivated to push the issue. Meanwhile, the influential figure continues attending public events and running their business. This disappearing act repeats itself in country after country. It exposes a persistent glitch in justice systems worldwide, proving that identical crimes do not guarantee identical realities. The reason for this disparity comes down to who is actually enforcing the law. We like to think of the justice system as a blind, mechanical force. In reality, it is an institution run entirely by vulnerable human beings. Police officers, judges, prosecutors, and regulators all have careers to manage. They have families to feed, mortgages to pay, and professional ambitions to protect. Because justice is administered by people with everyday vulnerabilities, the system can be bent. The moment an official's decision threatens a powerful person's fortune or freedom, that powerful person has every incentive and the resources to exploit those mundane human pressures. When an investigation threatens their interests, influential figures deploy two specific tools to compromise the officials handling their case. The first tool is a direct financial reward. A bundle of cash, a lucrative business opportunity, or a high-paying job for a relative. In many regions, civil servants work for incredibly low salaries. Offering an underpaid investigator a life-changing sum of money exploits that financial reality, requiring an official to have immense moral strength to decline. The second tool is retaliation. A judge who rules against a prominent business owner might suddenly find themselves transferred to a remote, undesirable posting. A police officer who pushes too hard on an investigation faces quiet demotion, or in some cases, credible threats to their physical safety. Put a vulnerable official in this position, and the math becomes overwhelming. Between severe personal risk and immense financial temptation, looking away often becomes the most rational choice available. Individual bribes and threats explain isolated cases, but the wealthiest individuals rely on a much deeper structural network of protection. They sit on corporate boards, sponsor political campaigns, and build years of reciprocal loyalty with senior leaders. In developing nations with weaker institutions, this often looks like blunt, overt corruption, where elites face zero consequences in broad daylight. In wealthy countries, the mechanism is highly polished. This polished evasion takes the form of expensive legal teams that exploit procedural delays until prosecutors drop the charges. It takes the form of corporate lobbying that rewrites regulations before a vote even happens, or a revolving door where government regulators secure lucrative jobs at the exact corporations they previously investigated. For the victim's family, the result is devastating. They lose someone they love, and their lives freeze in a decade-long procedural fight. They watch the perpetrator continue to live comfortably, while their own life is trapped in endless court delays. This creates a unique kind of despair. The family is forced to realize that the institutions meant to protect them mathematically value an elite's connections over an ordinary citizen's trauma. This diagram shows a single corrupted case, a localized failure of justice, but the damage rarely stays contained to the individuals involved. When the public repeatedly watches the powerful escape consequences, collective trust fractures. Citizens stop believing that following the rules leads to fairness. They disengage, realizing that participating in a rigged system offers no reward. This translates to tangible economic and social flight. Investors pull capital from legal systems they no longer trust, and talented citizens leave for places where competence matters more than connections. When legal paths to justice stay closed, that frustration eventually boils over into social unrest and protest. Elite immunity actively dismantles the concept of a shared, rule-based society. It replaces a common legal standard with a hierarchy of influence, effectively stalling a nation's ability to develop. Reversing this cycle requires proactive, aggressive interventions that force the system to operate in the light. The most effective defense is transparency. Independent journalism, strong whistleblower protections, and public access to court records make it nearly impossible to bury a case quietly. This must be paired with institutional independence, ensuring judges and investigators have guaranteed job security that shields them from political retaliation. Authorities also respond to collective pressure. Civil society organizations, public protests, and coordinated social shame have repeatedly forced governments to reopen quietly closed cases. By heavily penalizing the officials who accept bribes, societies raise the absolute cost of corruption, making it a highly dangerous bet for anyone involved. Delivering these solutions is exceptionally difficult. This vulnerability is deeply rooted in the structural realities of human inequality and the nature of power itself. Justice is rarely a gift from the powerful. It is the result of constant friction. By refusing to accept silence and continuing to demand transparency, citizens ensure that even the most protected systems remain under pressure. That struggle is the only thing that keeps the possibility of fairness alive.